Hey guys, what's up? This is the Safe Room Podcast. I am the host, Shon Williams, and usually I would be here in a very positive manner, addressing you guys just in my best impersonation of being positive, being happy 24/7, but I cannot put up an act. I am pissed, royally pissed, and to be honest, this episode, you're not going to really see a happy side of me because honestly, I have a right to be mad. I deserve to be angry based on the current situation. So if you're listening to this for the first time, I just want to say welcome to the Safe Room. I hope moving forward you enjoy any conversations that we do moving forward. If you're a recurring person that just keeps watching the Safe Room, then again, I appreciate you guys for supporting me since day one, since the first time this podcast was launched. And today I have a very serious topic because if you haven't been following what's been happening to me for the last 2 weeks, my main account for Instagram, the Safe Room Podcast, usually the account I advise you guys to go on every time I'm done an episode so you can follow up on anything I'm doing, that account's been hacked. And it's been hacked for close to 2 weeks, and I have just been going through a lot. It's just been so much to handle, and honestly, I'm getting sick and tired. Guys, this episode, as I'm recording this, is January 26th, 2022, and for all the listeners, if you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or Spotify, this is gonna be a video, and if you're seeing this on YouTube, then hey, yes, guys, I promise I'm not a robot. No, this is really me in the flesh, and again, I'm really sick of it because honestly, the whole situation is stupid. I just want to give my account back, and I just want to be able to say that I can do, what I love, making posts about my podcast, letting you guys know about new conversations, who's going to come on, what I'm going to talk about. But today, let me just get into it. We're going to cover everything, the story, what happened from beginning to now, and more importantly, I want to talk about specifically Instagram and how there's no presence of customer service. Like, think about it. $1 billion company in its worth. Like, no customer service. No live chat support, no email, no phone number, like nothing. Absolutely nada. Zilch. Zero. So I'm about to break it down, try to figure out why is that the reason. Again, it's not just me. And this episode, as much as I'm going to talk about my situation, I also want to talk about the fact that this has been happening to so many other people, friends, family. Even if you're just another person, another influencer, your account's being hacked. This is for everyone because we deserve better. As content creators, as influencers who want to continue in our craft, we deserve better treatment. And honestly, we shouldn't be stuck in these loopholes that we're getting ourselves into that we're not even asked to be getting into. It's Instagram and all these other sources dragging us into this shit. So again, I'm not going to waste your time. We're going to break it down. Who knows how long I'm going to talk for this. We may be here for a while. Again, I'm going to go into everything. I know it's a long intro, but I had to provide some context on what this episode was going to be about. One thing as well, at the end of this episode, please share this out to anyone, who can just get some attention. Honestly, again, I've been trying at this. I've tried different methods and nothing has really worked. Nothing has really gone my way. And at this point, I could really use some attention from anyone from Instagram or anyone that could be helpful. I could really need it because I just want my account back. That's all I want. So let's get into it. So it was the day of January 14th, 2022. So it was pretty close, almost 2 weeks ago. I remember waking up, and that was actually the day when a new episode for the Safe Room was dropping. It was the one I did with Chanelli and Rochelle from Flaunted. We just talked about their organization and basically the impact of women empowerment in the community. It was a really fantastic conversation. I invite you guys to go check it out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. And usually every Friday morning, I always make a post letting people know, hey, there's a new episode out. And It's when I went on Instagram, and then a friend of mine, who I'm not gonna mention just for confidential reasons, sent me a link, and I know this person very well based on the work that they do. So when I first saw the link, I kind of made the correlation, like, oh, you know what? It's probably in connection to that. Maybe there's a reason why he sent me that link, and because of that, I was fooled. I was fooled to thinking like, okay, this could be something meaningful, this could be something great, but it really wasn't. So what happened was, the link basically said, "Oh, please vote for my vote for me to win this contest. Vote for me. Oh, come on, open the link." And again, I just want to throw something out into the wind, out to caution. I am very careful when it comes to like links or things that look very scammy, like very like sus. I really am. But again, based on the personnel of this person, how I knew them, and like how they use their platform as well, I thought it to be as in like, okay, this is probably legit, So clicked on the link, and then it brought me to this where I had to put in my login information. Now, that's where like things started to get a little weird, because I'm like, I don't know why you're asking for my IG login. Like, I'm already logged in, and even then, like, why? Like, it should just go to like the immediate link that you're supposed to. And I mean, anyone who clicks a link, on Instagram, even when you're scrolling your stories, like the swipe up, it goes straight to the source at hand. It doesn't ask you have to log in or like put in a password. So like, I don't know, maybe like the site was like default or something like that. So from then, I should have known something was wrong. But again, I kind of just gave a chance at it, just like, okay, whatever. Because like, even as like small things were like, what could possibly happen? I think the only time like I've ever had to like use login for something is if like I'm downloading the game and like, I don't want to play like a guest. I'll play like, as this person, I'll play as that. Like that's it. That's it. But I put in my information and it took me to some random links. So I just closed it thinking like, okay, whatever. So I went on with my day, and then all of a sudden I tried to, go back to my account, and like nothing was happening. Like nothing was happening. I tried refreshing the page. It said user not found, and I was confused. Like, what? Like I was so lost. I was just thinking to myself, like, wait, what's going on? And then I get like a couple of emails just listed out talking about, first, your two-way authentication was turned on. And I'm going to get to that in a bit in terms of like what was like the issue and how I couldn't fix it. But it was turned on, and then I got a follow-up email saying that my password, my username, and my phone number in terms of my primary information for Instagram was changed. And I was like, what? Wait, what happened? And then I realized, oh my gosh, it's the link that I filled out. And then basically, because I took a while to realize this, and like when I say a while, it was like maybe like 10 minutes later. It wasn't like 30 minutes or an hour. It was only 10 minutes later. I tried to click the link to like fix it back and to, change the situation, and it was already too late. It was already too late, which made me wonder, is it even the fact that it's like 10 minutes, or like maybe like you just, regardless, if you fill it in, then it's probably not going to work for you in the beginning. But from there, everything just started going wrong. I couldn't gain access. I couldn't try to, do something where like, okay, let me go to my login, just click forget password. But it didn't work, because anytime it sent the email to the hacker's account. Basically from there, I got a whole new email, whole new username and stuff, a whole new password, which was still funny because even to this day, I still check upon it. It still has like my original username, which is still funny, but I had no access. So that was just terrible for me. And I was just thinking to myself, like, bro, this is everything I worked for. This can't be happening. Like, what is going on? And then obviously, if you kind of understand, if you fall in these situations, that the simplistic thing to do is that, okay, usually you have like two-way authentication, two-step verification that's on. And from there, basically, you have a backup code. You have a backup code in a way where you're able to, get the code, put it in, and eventually, you'll get your account back. Well, unfortunately, I did not have it on, and because of that, it just made my situation even harder, because since that was not turned on, it didn't mean that I could like immediately fix it, or like I was like the harm wasn't as like, intensified. It was still bad. So I'm thinking to myself, great, I got no information to log in. I got no two-step verification. I got nothing. What do I do? So obviously in this moment, I was kind of like panicking a bit, because I'm like, yo, again, this is something that I worked hard for a long time. And anyone who knows me, usually when I make posts and stuff, it's 95% of the time podcast related. Like, I'm not really on social media doing like all the most randomest of posts. I'm not really trying to like look into like memes, like, ooh, I should post this on my story, or like this sounds interesting. Like, no, it's specific because I want my content to mean something. I want to get like a audience behind me on what I do. So it was just terrible. It was just so hard to like manage, and personally, I didn't know what to do next. So I took a moment to breathe. I'm like, okay, let me just try emailing them. And that's where I ran into the first problem. I realized from different, YouTube videos, just checking up to see what people said, that sometimes, and realized that it wasn't even sometimes, but most of the times, that the response rate for Instagram emails, whether it's like, hacked accounts or stuff like that, is very, very tedious. Like, sometimes there are people who are telling their story saying that they don't get a response within the next month. And to this day, I've sent about like 10 to 15 emails, still no response. Like, nothing, absolutely nothing. I literally took the time to write a very detailed and thorough email about everything, what happened, and just nothing happened. Like, nothing, no response. Not even like an automatic reply about, oh, we got your email, we may send something. Like, nothing. Absolutely nada. Like, and that's what it really got to me thinking, like, how do y'all have this on your help center, which I'm going to get to in a bit. How do you have this on your help center, but it's absolutely like non-existent, or it's useless? Like, what's the point of that? So once I realized the emails were not working, I'm like, okay, let me go to the help center. Let me go to there. Let me see if I can, get some assistance. And it didn't really help as much, because I didn't have the two-step verification, it was harder for me. And it seemed like some of the, recommendations they were giving me was more based on if you had it on so you can fix it. And like, I was just stuck in a hole. Everyone was giving me advice. Some people were messaging me like, hey, you should do this. Oh, I check out this video. And just like, it was the same thing that, I was already watching from other YouTubers. So I was thinking to myself, like, well, like, I appreciate the help, but like, it's still not helping me in this situation. I'm still stuck at like square one. So the emails weren't working. The help center wasn't working. And like, there was even like stuff where you can fill out forms and even say, hey, my account was hacked or reported. But like, I didn't want to put something that was like incorrect based on the situation. I don't want to say like, oh, my account was disabled, because like, it wasn't disabled, it was just hacked. Because disabled, or like my account was deleted. My account was still there, because like, I have other outlets, I have other ways of knowing if my account is active. And I know like, if it was deleted, like no matter what I do, if I type it up, you would not see it anywhere, but it's there. So I know it's not deleted. So yeah, the help center didn't work, the emails didn't work. So then I took extreme measures, and I wrote, I took the same email that I was, outsourcing to Instagram, and I basically copy and paste that and sent it to the CEO of Instagram, Adam Mosseri. I basically said, you know what? Desperate times call for desperate measures. I legitimately copied, paste everything, sent it to him. I sent it to him twice. Like, guys, it was like long text bubbles of like detailed everything like that. Because at that point, I was like, I don't know what to do. And I know when you're CEO of a $1 billion company, you ain't really got time. But I'm like, I need something. I need a sign. Like, give me a sign. Because at this point, Instagram's not helping. So I thought to myself, okay, let me try out. And I've got no response still. Nothing. Like, I was really down and out. But I think what really made this process, and why I haven't responded or really addressed this yet, because of the hacker taken the liberty to basically use my account, my platform, as a way to, try to get to my followers, some of my closest friends, some people I know, maybe some people you've seen on the podcast before. This person was basically like, you know what? I'm about to message everyone this guy Shon follows. Like, everyone send the same link. So, literally, I kid you not, from that day, January 14, up to now, by the way, as I'm recording, up to now, I have been, like, having to let people know that, hey, look, whoever is sending these messages, it's not me. I've been hacked. Ignore all the messages. Like, please. Like, I'm not going to mention anyone who I've messaged personally, but all I know, it's a lot. Like, I have the receipts and everything, and it's driving me insane. Like, some days, I might get less people that, the hackers messaging. Other days, it's, like, about 20 plus. And it's, like, I have to, like, literally keep track, because if I let down my guard for just a couple of, like, minutes, then, like, everything goes to waste. And then, like, just they're going ham. At first, there was, like, a pattern where the person would literally message, like, probably around the hours of, like, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. within the first couple days. And then they just didn't care, and they just started messaging, like, all randomly at different times of the hour. Like, literally, I can tell you, sometimes they were messaging my followers, like, 4 a.m. in the morning. When I'm dead asleep. So I'm thinking, like, okay, if that's the case, there's no way this person is, like, in Canada. Because, like, who in Toronto, in Ontario, anywhere here is messaging hackers about vote for me in this content 4 a.m. in the morning, 5 a.m. in the morning? Like, it's not happening. It's not happening. So, for the last 2 weeks, I've been trying to manage that. I've been trying to just operate, just to ensure that no one else gets hacked on my behalf, because I don't want anyone believing that, oh, Shon, like, why is he sending me these links? Like, what the heck, bro? Like, I thought you were doing podcasts and stuff, and now you're sending stuff like that. And I even have receipts where the hacker is literally posting stuff online about, like, Bitcoin, or, like, join my Bitcoin, or, like, these tips on how to, like, grow your audience on Bitcoin. Like, literally all that type of stuff. And anyone, again, if you know me, if I'm making posts on my story, you would know that, like, I don't do none of that. First of all, I'm not even a big fan of Bitcoin in general. Like, obviously, people are saying, like, oh, that's the next, currency to take over the future. Honestly, that's a conversation I might talk about another time. But, you ain't never seen me post Bitcoin stuff. Never. Why would I start today? I'm seeing posts on, like, motivational quotes as well, which is like, look, bro, I might make posts on stuff like maybe the Shade Room or stuff like that, or maybe a little 1-2 video. But, like, just, like, to go out of my way and make a post, that's just not me. That's never been me. If you know me, then I know, then you know, okay? And if you know, then, like, it's false. I don't care if that didn't make sense, but you get what I'm trying to say. That was not me, and I was so frustrated because, again, it wasn't even like they wanted money. Like, they were just toying with me. They were just playing with me. Because they could have easily said, hey, we want money. And obviously, again, if you're a hacker, that's probably the first, objective. Financial goods, money, right? But they probably realized that I got nothing to offer. And if they did, they can kiss their ass, bro. I ain't giving them nothing. So that's what really pissed me off. Like, they were just playing with my account. It wasn't an everyday thing, but once in a while, I would see it. I mean, who knows? As I'm recording, they probably post another story about some motivational quote, or, like, buy my Bitcoin, or, like, invest in this, who knows? So that's what's been happening for me the last 2 weeks. And it's been absolute hell. Like, it's been so bad. And even sometimes the people I've had to message and let them know about, hey, it's not me. I just want to say thank you for just, again, understanding my situation. It's been very hard, very rough. And shout out to the people who actually took the liberty, sorry guys, have taken the liberty to call out the hacker. Like, I've literally seen sometimes, like, some people are messaging me like, yo, you want me to page him? Like, I can page this person. I can page him, her. I don't even know him, her. It doesn't matter. Like, do you want me to page them? I got you. I got people saying, yo, give this man his account back. Like, yo, he's a good person. Like, why would you do that to him? For you guys, yo, you guys are writers. You guys are writers. Shout out to you. Shout out to everyone who is just like by my side. Again, I know it's been a lot. It's very annoying and I'm trying to like fix it. So that's kind of like the whole gist of everything where I'm at this point. Again, I've kind of given up on the emails because I've kind of realized they're just not going to respond. In fact, I think I was using one specific email and what happened as well, I used a different email. And when I used the second email, it literally said, we are not using this channel anymore for emails, which was ridiculous. I was like, it's Instagram support. You have the email as support@instagram.com and the channel's not being used? How does that make sense? Make it make sense. And you can't. You can't. In this moment, you can't. Oh, and another thing as well is that I tried to talk to a Facebook representative. I thought, okay, let me go after the big guns. Let me go after Instagram's parent company. Let me go talk to someone there and see if I can, fix something out. Like, figure something out, And they basically told me that, oh, we only deal with, like, Facebook ads and stuff. And, like, we can't really help you with, like, your situation. So I asked them, like, well, can you send me someone who can? Because there's no one on your side from Instagram that can fix it. So can you send me someone? They're like, unfortunately, we can't. Unless you want us to help us with your Facebook ads and stuff, then there's not really much we can do. I don't care about the Facebook ads. Again, if you go on the help center, like, they give you some, like, the most general, most basic things, but it's also, like, very specific based on situational settings. Like, again, I'm not going to say that I'm not to blame for not having two-step verification. Like, don't get me wrong. But then again, I just called one of my best friends the other day, and he even told me that, like, yo, he doesn't even have it on at the moment, or he doesn't think he has it. Like, it's not, like, sometimes, like, people don't have it on. They just don't. Maybe they forget about it, and they're like, oh, snap, I forgot this was on, or this was off. Like, it's a common thing. Like, get over it. So, the fact that they can't even help me for any alternatives, any other situations, is disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. Like, honestly, like, what the heck, bro? $1 billion company. $1 billion company. You can't even do that. What are you guys doing in the board directors room? What are you doing? Goofing around? Trying to figure out the next filter that's gonna change the world? Adding more stuff to the reels? Y'all can do all of that, but you can't add. Let me just calm down. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So, even talking to a Facebook rep, nothing. Emails, nothing. Help center, nothing. DMing the CEO of Instagram, nothing. So it's literally come to this. I've had to tell it here and see if I can just explain everything. And that's where I got to thinking. And obviously, I've been thinking about this since, like, it happened on January 14th. I thought, what is behind this? Like, what is actually going on? Because, again, it's not just me. It's everyone. And again, as much as anyone who knows me, I'm always curious about helping others, or just like the situation when it comes to other people and how they're affected. I want my account back, yes. But I'm also curious, like, why is this happening to other people? Other accounts that are getting hacked as well. And I'm like, okay, but what gives? Like, what's the catch? Because I'm thinking, like, is it really just hackers that are taking over Instagram? Because even if that's the case, you would have heard something from Instagram explain the situation. But because you're not, I feel like there's something more under the surface. Like, there's a conspiracy. And I'm starting to think, is it because of like, is Instagram in cahoots with someone? Is there like something behind the doors? Is this like an inside job? So that's where I had to do some digging. And again, one of the common things I realized is that Instagram has no customer service, right? So, like, before I even get into, what I kind of found and what I probably think is the issue, let's talk about the fact that Instagram has no customer service. Again, a $1 billion company, they're a subsidiary to Facebook, right? Instagram, although it's not the most, like, popular app right now. Obviously, like TikTok, as much as I don't like TikTok, I can't deny its fame, its success. It's over the roof. So I know Snapchat obviously as well is a popular choice. But Instagram, I mean, it's still there. It's still a platform for, companies, businesses, or like influencers to, do something good, which fair enough. And usually it's a great way, to promote like user content, especially for me. I'm not really, again, you don't see me on my profile making posts on me like, oh, I just came back from the gym or this and that, or like, oh, check out the new sweater, the new kicks I bought. Like, no, podcast related. That's me. Now, Instagram, being the company they are, there has to be like an organizational structure in place. There has to be something in line that, of like a line of command. There has to be something that you can follow and, comprehend, as if like someone who's checking their website be like, okay, so this works on that side of the branch, or this person works on there, or these are the responsibilities that they do. These are the board of directors. I kid you not, guys. I searched up everything. All I could find was the CEO and the co-founders. That's it. And maybe my Google searching skills are not on par, but it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. So it got me thinking, like, why doesn't Instagram not have customer service? Because Facebook does. I mean, granted, it's kind of for specific reasons, but they do. I talked to a representative on chat. They have an email. I'm pretty sure if you check Twitter and Snapchat, these other social media platforms, they have customer service. But then I thought to myself, like, well, Instagram is a for-profit organization, right? So why would you want to not have customer service in a way where you don't lose those, those customers? I don't want to say customers in the case because they're not really customers, those users. You don't want to lose your audience. You don't want to lose the people. Because again, I want to say 3/4 of the people who use Instagram are under 35 years old, right? Like it's a younger population. So why would you not have customer service if you're like not worried about, oh, you know what? Someone may be like, okay, let's report Instagram. Or you know what? I'm going to leave Instagram and go to Twitter or go to YouTube or go to Twitch or whatever. Which makes me wonder, like, what's the case? And really, again, because I'm a business major, I kind of pick these things out and I kind of know how it works. This has to do with money. This has to do from a financial bottom line. Is it being satisfied? Now, here's the thing. Instagram, as it's big as it is, it's not the most popular brand. And obviously, there's other brands that kind of surpassed it. But one thing we can't deny, especially with social media platforms, is just the internet in general is the power of advertising. You know how like us, like, people scroll on our feed and we just see like a bunch of ads after ads after ads after ads because of the ad revenue. Like, what's it? Instagram is a subsidiary of Facebook. Facebook and Google own like what, 80% when it comes to like the search engine optimization, all that stuff like that. Like, there's companies having bidding wars behind doors to fight to see, okay, can I get my ad on their platform? Can I get my ad on their platform? Like, how long is the ad's gonna be? And that's one thing that Instagram has like vamped up so heavily as well. You see ads like whether it's on your feeds, on stories, on posts, the explores page, reels, IGTVs, like it's a common thing. And again, a lot of the money made from Instagram is based on these ad revenues because there's so many different metrics. Obviously, there's ad clicks where, you actually get to check out, the ad itself and engage with it. And then probably the most dangerous one is ad impressions. Like the minute you just view it, like if you take like just a couple seconds, like maybe 5 seconds just to see it, that's going to count in some way, in some manner. So as a result, Instagram is able to make so much money off of this. And because, they get a lot of, pushing the ads out and even some of the tools as well. Some of the creator tools, sometimes as creators ourselves, we make ads, they take a cut in terms of like the credit for stuff like that. All these little things add up. And because the fact that there's more users joining Instagram, that's where the money's kind of like offsetting from, okay, we don't need customer service. Because you know what? We're making so much money off of this already that even if we don't have customer service, even let's say what? one bad person who hates Instagram out of like what, 50 million, 50 billion users? Like, what's that gonna do? That's not gonna hurt our pockets. See, that time when Instagram was completely down, now that was a problem. Because it wasn't just like, just a random person like Shon Williams that was like going through it. It was like everyone in the world was going through it. And like, even though the hacking situation is bad, again, if you have that two-step verification, you're able to fix that. Most likely, you will recover everything. The damages won't be as severe. But for me, I'm still here and about to enter like week 2, week 3 with this situation. And again, Instagram, they're not phased because, again, if it's not putting a dent in their wallets, in their financial aspect, they're not going to fix it. So obviously, again, being a business major, I caught that on quickly. So then I thought to myself, okay, so why is that the case? Why are people just getting hacked randomly? I know they're not going to address customer service because honestly, from a financial standpoint, they don't need to. They're good. They're fine. Like Facebook, as much as Facebook's big, it's not as engageful as it used to be, right? And again, even though like Twitter is a place for people to go to as well, it's not as big as well. Like certain apps, certain platforms need like that customer service to at least, keep their audience. Instagram, it's big enough where it's like we can withstand it on our own, and because of the different tools and metrics and techniques we use, we'll be good. But my main concern was, but what about the hacking? And based on some reports I found, which I'm going to read to you a bit, I'm not going to read everything in full detail, but basically, a lot of this actually hasn't just been happening recently, just now. This has kind of been dated back to last year in August. Like, that's where you kind of saw a trend of certain posts or people getting hacked and stuff like that, and it was an issue. And again, I saw it through. Like, I saw people sometimes making posts. Heck, I see people sometimes going on their Instagram telling them like, hey, I made a new account because I got hacked. And I'm like, oh damn, man, like, I wish that doesn't happen to me. Well, here I am. I'm one of those suckers, honestly. I wouldn't call myself a sucker. I wouldn't call anyone a sucker, but you just, in that moment, you kind of feel sad for yourself because it's like, damn, like I worked this hard to, build my following, but it's a lot. It's a lot. So again, I tried to figure out, okay, so this has been going back since August. So now is there some like connectivity? Is there something we can correlate it to? And one thing I realized is that from a specific article is that, there's a lot behind it. There's a really lot behind it. I want to say like a cybersecurity company called SecureWorks. They kind of did research on it, and what they were able to find is that, it was a common thing. There's people that get this link, they open it, it requires their login, and from there, your username, your password, your phone number, all that stuff, it gets changed, and you basically get locked out. You can't do nothing about it. They did mention the fact that, again, if you have two-step verification, you're able to, reduce the tension from it. But if not, then it's gonna be a tough road. It's gonna be a bumpy road. And then what really got to me was that from the research, they believe that it's some phishing campaign. So if people don't know what phishing is, basically like, when people are able to steal like personal like data and information from an account, and from there it just, the situation gets worse and worse and worse. So when I heard that there's a possibility that there's a phishing campaign, it kind of all made sense because, again, some of the times where the hacker was like doing their nonsense, it just didn't feel like, okay, this isn't just like, a bunch of like computer guys just randomly having fun or whatever. Like, this seems like to be like from a bigger operative standpoint. So it just really sent a bunch of red flags, like, wow, like this has been going on since like for the last 4-5 months, and Instagram hasn't seemed to fix anything. In fact, again, they're more focused on adding new features so that content users can, expand their audience and promote their things, but you're not focused on the fact that people are getting hacked, and this could be an all-around like campaign behind doors from another company or from other places in the country. I think the report mentioned as well that it could be some companies or some people from Russia and Turkey based on, the phone numbers that they change. You can identify it from there. So again, it's a lot. So yeah, so a common thing that's, some of the articles keep saying is that, some of them are demanding ransom, and it's not just influencers, it's obviously like, company accounts, business accounts, and, again, if they see that a company is like obviously like a for-profit and stuff like that, they may want ransom from there. For me, I didn't get nothing about money because again, I'm just still like a social media creator. I'm still like a content creator in a way with my podcast. I'm not really making any big bucks from it. Honestly, I feel like I should because this is like a whole like another job. But I'm not making money, so there really isn't for them to ask anything like that. So again, they've been mostly been using my accounts for Bitcoin related posts, which is again super annoying because I can't stress it enough. Y'all Bitcoin accounts, y'all need to just go somewhere and just kick rocks, man. Y'all gotta go there and kick rocks because I'm getting sick and tired of this shit. I really am. And as you can see, this incidents just keep to continue and continue without any signs of stopping. And to be very honest, it's come to the point where like at first I was mad and then I was angry, then I was sad. And at this point, I'm just like, I'm at that point of return where like, I'm getting desperate. Like, can I just have my account back? Like, can I please? Like, I just want to be able to say that I can operate and everything like that. And just tying back to what I mentioned before about how Instagram, how their customer service and how they make money, off of ads. It's one of the most common things. Again, right here it says digital advertising is Instagram's oldest and primary source of revenue. And every time Instagram rolls out a new form of real estate on the app, one can expect it to feature ads sometime down the line. Again, like feeds, stories, explore tab, IGTV, reels, everything you can name. But like, it's not even just that alone. They even say like Instagram shopping when they introduced it back in 2016. That's another way for, income to be collected. And even the creator tools, which I've noticed, I've seen, because again, I have a business account for Instagram, so I'm able to access all those stuff. I know they're there, but again, I don't really use it as that much. I don't even use it at all. But again, there's always a cut taken away. In fact, Instagram shares a 55% cut of revenue earned from ads shown on IGTV and plans to do the same ad for Reels based on, a source I found. Now, even though, again, I'm always about information literacy, so I'm not going to take everything to heart, but based on what I've seen, what I've heard, and how I can apply my knowledge from there, I can say that most of this is pretty relatable and I can understand how that could be the case. So I get it, but honestly, I'm not going to take it too hardly because again, sometimes people could be blurring out what is actually true and what is from reality. But again, I'm at a point where it's a lot. And there's even more articles that talk about Instagram and the fact that they actually are trying to get more, more users to use it. They're getting more people to engage with Instagram, which I find is funny because, you look at Instagram alone and like they have like over 1 billion users, 1 billion. Like it's ridiculous. But still, again, they're still behind some of their competitors. I mean, when you think of TikTok, TikTok is blowing up and like it's basically going through that same level that Vine used to go through, but like probably higher at this point. And it's funny how like there's articles talking about how Instagram could possibly be like gone in the next couple of years, which is funny because again, some of these articles talk about how Instagram is killing organic reach. So obviously, like reach is kind of like another way to just kind of say like when someone like sees an account, whether it's like through story, through post, or like they just take a moment to acknowledge the content itself, which is a very easy number to blur. Obviously, like there's a lot of people, especially if you make ads, you get to check your metrics and you see the reach, and like the reach is high and you think to yourself like, oh my god, a lot of people are engaging. But really, you can see something for 1 second, but I never ever again remember what that post or that ad was about. It's a common thing. So again, it's a metric that can get easily manipulated. But basically, organic reach, which I don't know what is exactly organic reach, but I could assume it's just that actual engagement from maybe your followers who actually check out your posts and whether it's like, comment, reshare, which is cool. And obviously the posts that are like unorganic is like maybe if you're using tags. Like tags is like one of the most common things if like you're trying to get to a bigger audience. You place it there, and I know to all those creators, have you ever seen recently where like you see these random ass accounts talking about, oh, promote it here, promote it there, like, hey, share this, promote it there. It's like, where'd you come from? Or better yet, just random accounts following you, liking your stuff. Sometimes I don't even know that I'm following these certain accounts, and it's like, it's weird. It's super weird. Or even people view my story. So it's a lot. So yeah, that has just been something that I've been able to pick up with some of these, news articles from these sites. And again, it just goes to show that Instagram overall, they're trying all these different things to improve. But again, the main issue should be customer service. Like honestly, as recommendations that they need to do like immediately, first off, they need to have like a proper email. Like that should be the first step. An email response team that actually responds. Again, whether it's automatic replies, coming back to them saying, hey, we'll get back to you in like the next hour. Because honestly, that's not even an excuse. That's not even an excuse. Like, you should be responding right on the spot. You really should. Again, if you're able to talk to any other company and they're responding to you on the spot, why can't you? There shouldn't even be no automatic reply. You should be like, no, there should be an automatic reply saying, hey, how can I help you? Or how can I assist you? Or hey, what is your problem? Not about, hey, let me contact you in the next couple hours. Like, no. It's a joke. You talk about engagement, then engage with your audience when they have problems. Please. The emails, that's the first thing. Number 2, have a live chat. Y'all can't do that? Or better yet, I know there's some sites that don't even have like an actual person. It's like a robot. Even though I wouldn't recommend that either. Do something like that. Or better yet, you can't hire people as well. Think about this too. This is not just from, us, but think about it, Don't you want to have people employed and that way, you're able to fix the situation so you want to fall in these holes? There's such things as like, protecting your image or your reputation. But again, if their wallets are not being affected, obviously Instagram's not going to pay any attention to the situation at hand. So yeah, live support, please. Emails, please. Like a phone number? Like, come on. And the thing is, they have a phone number, but even other sites clarify that you can call them, they're just not going to respond to you. Or like, they're going to tell you like all lines are busy or stuff like that. So it's like, why have the number? Why have the number? Again, I went through the measure of like messaging the CEO of Instagram. When you have to like go to all options to message the CEO over a problem that honestly is not just affected by me, but by everyone, you have something at your hand that you need to address. So something's got to give. Like, you look at some of the numbers here as well. Like, Instagram, they're making so much money. So, like, I don't want to hear it about, like, well, if we try to put in customer service, we just don't have the fun. Like, I don't want to hear it. I really, really don't. Like, just in 2020, they made $24 billion in revenue. I don't know what they made in 2021. It's probably triple that. But all I know is, like, Instagram makes a good amount of revenue that covers up for, like, Facebook's revenue alone. So, like, what really is the issue? Like, what really is the problem? And overall, which I find very interesting from some of these statistics, and again, please, I'm not taking this cold-heartedly. I'm just trying to provide just, like, a platform as, like, a case study. There is as much users from India who use Instagram as into the US, which is mind-boggling. But again, overall, this whole thing has just been ridiculous. I've been trying so many different ways just to get in contact with someone. That's all. I just want to talk to someone. I just want to be able to talk to a representative, someone from Instagram. It's Instagram HQ up in California. Anybody. I just want to talk to them. I can't even do that. Because again, Instagram doesn't give you enough outlets to reach out or do anything. Again, I've tried YouTube. I haven't found anything as well. Because again, it's the same situation of like, they explain the steps, but if you have your 2-step verification, then you should be good. I don't. Again, I'm not going to go over the fact that I didn't have it on or this and that. It's whatever. And now it's like I'm in the position where I have to keep warning people, don't click the link. And if they do, I have to make sure that everything's fixed. Because, you know, since I didn't know about that two-step verification, I can warn them so that way it doesn't impact them, you know? But overall, this has just been a terrible experience. Like, I left 2021 feeling great, coming into 2022 to have so much like special episode. I had so much ideas, and I'm not saying that I can't do it, but just in the back of my mind, knowing that I can't even make like those proper posts on my main account and I have to use my backup account, it's just annoying. It's so annoying. And to me, this is everything I work for. I started this back in May of 2020. Now look, this isn't like me to take shots at anyone, but this is not really an Instagram account where like I have pictures that are up on my IG account, but I still have saved on my phone. So if I was hacked, it's like, okay, cool. I'll just make a new one. It's whatever. No, these are posts I worked day in and day out, night in, night out to, you know, for you guys. Yes, I have it saved on my computer, but I don't want to go through all the steps of like now having to re-upload everything. Like, no, I have it there. Let me just get my account back and work on it. You know, when you have something as precious as this that you don't want to go to waste, you don't want it to be thrown away. Again, I can't stress this enough. Before my podcast, I never was on social media. The only thing I was on was YouTube. That's it. That is it. Instagram was ghost town. You may see me post something on Instagram maybe twice a year. And I'm not stretching it. I'm not being like, you know, just exaggerating. Like twice a year, I barely post because again, I never found any purpose. And when I had my podcast and that was established, I found my purpose. This is everything I work for, from the days of making posts, from the days of like, you know, having guests on the show, from the days of just all of that. Everything I work for is on that. And I don't want to start from scratch. I'm lucky enough to have a backup account, but I don't want to go through that process all over again because I know how hard I did to work back. I'm not a person that's going to give up on something that I believe is mine. And don't get me wrong, if it's something that I have to work back to, I will do it. But at the same time, I don't want to be screwed. And this whole hacker situation has got me to a point where like I'm fathoming about this 24/7, like 24/7. That's all I can think about. If anyone knows, like, I'm a very persistent person. When I see something, I want it. So you would know in this moment, I do not let my persistence hold back because I have a right to be persistent. To like, give me my damn account back. Give it back, bro. It's not yours. Go do your own shit somewhere else, man. If I wanted to, honestly, if I wanted to page the hacker, I would. But I'm just like, you know what? It's not even worth it. I was even thinking to myself, if we even find this hacker, do I pull up to their place? Do I just pull up and just get absolutely pissed off and rage at them? Right now, I'm stuck in a hole, and I feel like I'm just getting deeper and deeper and deeper in. And all I want is some attention. I just need some help. Because again, the situation I'm in is pretty rare, where I don't have a backup code, I don't have two-step verification, and everything, my password, my username, all that, changed. It's a clean slate. It's really keep posting on the backup page where it eventually becomes the new main page, or I make a new account. But why would I want to do that when I know it's still there? And guys, look, I'll tell you this right now. If my account today deleted, then fine. I would probably make the backup page the main page, or I would make a new one. Fine. But for the fact that for the last 2 weeks, that piece of shit is posting stuff that I don't usually post for fun, for games, and knowing that nothing's changed. Like literally, my description, username, everything is still the same. You go on right now, the last thing you see was the post hyping up the episode for Shon Williams. It's still there. The fact that they're not doing anything as they like put in inappropriate pictures or posts, why am I going to start fresh? When I know there's just a chance. There's just a chance I can get this back. This is not just for me. This is for anyone who feels what I'm going through. When like they've been denied by a company that's supposed to help their users, that's supposed to give them the courage to do content, but you're restricting them to accessing that same content at the same time. This is to anyone who has been hacked, who's been in my position, or even worse. We deserve better. Instagram, this is a letter to you. This is a message to you. You have no customer service. Fix it. Fix it. Because this is getting out of hand. If you're so worried about your money and this and that, well, how about this? If people keep dropping you and they start to realize how much of a piece of trash you are, there goes your revenue. Because you got no people. You got no reach. And then all of a sudden, no one is paying attention to you. And if it's now to the point that if it's now to the point where it takes your wallet books to take a huge dip for you to finally listen to people, then maybe you guys need to look yourself in the mirror and figure out what you need to fix. But again, this customer service, it's gotta fix. Gotta fix it. You need to implement it now. It has to happen. Not just for me, but for anyone who's going through the same situation as me. We deserve better. We deserve to do the work that we want to do. If you want to make posts about whatever you love, do it. If you want to make posts just for fun, do it. But these hackers, this phishing campaign that you're just letting it slide, you're not addressing. What does that say to you? What does that say for your image, your reputation? It says you don't give a crap. As long as money's coming in, we don't care. I don't know. I don't know what to do. All I'm asking is for someone to hear me out. Hear my message. Hear my story. But that's pretty much it. That's all I have to say for now. To anyone listening who's been following me from day one, you know how important this is. You know how I love my podcast. Like literally since I've started it, it's all I've wanted to do. It's all I wanted to do. So if you're listening, please, I'm asking you guys, send a message. Send it out to anyone that could hear me out. Because I'm done with the emails. I'm done with the help center. I'm done with the Facebook representatives. All the nonsense. All the bullshit. I'm done. Okay? Honestly, this is where I need you guys the most. Because if you guys really care, then please get it out to someone from Instagram. Heck, you know what? Here's what we're going to do. If you're watching this or listening to this, whatever platform, I want you to send this to the CEO of Instagram. Send it to him. Send it to Adam. Send it to the co-founders as well. Heck, let's even go bigger. Send it to Shade Room. Because like I said, this is my story, but at the same time, it affects all of us. Send it to any platform that could just push the message, amplify it even further. Because again, as a podcaster, I want to be able to make the posts, make the content I could do on my main page. As an individual, I just want what's right. I just want what's mine. Is that really hard? No, it's not. Well, guys, I told you this was not going to be an episode where you get a very joyful me. This is serious. I'm dead serious. I want my account back. And whoever the hacker is, I hope they're brought to there's got to be some accountability. Like, there has to be some punishment. You can't go just without it. But what you guys can do again, share the video, share the audio, whatever you're listening to this to. Share it, please. Tell a friend that 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 tell a friend. Anybody. This is a PSA from yours truly, the president. Because this is getting out of hand. If you guys want to follow my journey, If you feel some way about this conversation, you guys can check me out on the Safe Room Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor as well. You can check out my backup page account, C.A podcast. That's usually the Court Advantage podcast that I host with my friend Kevin. So hopefully you guys follow me, you guys check me out. Again, I have so much ideas I want to do for the podcast, and I just want your guys' support. I really need it the most. I don't ask for much. I don't usually ask you guys to go on the review section for any podcast platform, write a review. I don't ask you guys to give me 50 likes and I'll make a next video. Like, no, this is just what I love to do. I just really need you guys to really push this out. I'm not doing this for likes, for views, for fame. I just want to do it because I love it. This is everything. The Safe Room is not just me. It's everyone who's part of this family. It's not just affecting me, it's affecting just everything. All you guys who just enjoy my conversations. And I don't want to stop because honestly, I kid you not, if this just keeps getting worse and worse, I don't want to fall back in that same hole I fell back in 2020, like late 2020, when I just stopped making episodes. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Where I went about 6 months without posting anything. Because I didn't have the motivation at the time. Because I was so busy with other stuff. I don't want to fall back in that same hole. 2021 was such a great year and I want to continue that. I want that momentum to just keep running through. So again, thank you guys for listening. I appreciate your time just to hear me out. Please share this. Let everyone know about this. And hopefully we can make a change. Hopefully I can get my stuff back. But until then, guys, stay safe, stay alert of these scams, the phishing campaign, everything. Stay alert. Please do not click any of these links at all. I'm advising you, do not fill out your information. Do not lose your account because I don't want you guys going in the same situation. That's all I've been thinking about. How can I make sure the next person doesn't get affected? Please stay alert, stay aware, turn on your two-step verification, your two-way authentication, whatever it is, turn it on, put as much security as you can, okay? And hopefully we'll be able to, to get through this. But thank you guys for listening. I know I've said thank you a lot, but really, if you're at the end of this, thank you so much. I love you guys. I've been the President, Shon Williams.